Hello, and welcome to New Student Orientation with the Academic Success Center. These are the advisors and staff at the Academic Success Center. We are assigned to students based on their last names, but when scheduling an appointment, you're welcome to see any advisor. You might even recognize the name of the advisor who emailed you about attending this new student orientation. We'll begin by discussing what it means to be an exploring major and how to use resources to help you decide which major to choose. Then we'll help you understand your general education requirements for a degree at UNLV, and lastly, a few advising reminders. Please note that we have drop-in advising all summer, Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can either physically drop in to meet face-to-face or call our main number to have an advisor return your call. You'll also have an opportunity to schedule a full hour appointment with an advisor throughout the summer. At UNLV, we do not use the term undeclared or undecided. We use exploring, as we feel that students need to actively engage in a process of exploration to help them decide or gain confidence in their major choices. If you are attending this orientation, you are either an exploring student or you may be an exploring majors pathway. Pathway students are students who intend to major in the College of Business, Science, or Engineering and are working to meet the math requirements required by these colleges. Exploring is considered a major, so any forms you fill out that request a major, you should list exploring. It's important to understand the connection between the major you choose and your intended career, and that not all majors lead to a specific career. For example, you do not have to major in political science to attend law school. Also, if you major in psychology, that doesn't limit you to only becoming a psychologist. During our advising appointment, we can talk about suggestions to finding a major or career that might interest you and activities you can do to be an active exploring student. In your first year seminar, you'll work on assignments and have discussions to help you with this process of finding your major. Bachelor's degree at UNLV is a minimum of 120 credits. How that 120 credits is broken down varies and depends on the major you choose. Some majors have 0 electives, while others have 20 or more. It's important to talk to your advisor about possible majors so that we can help you stay on track to taking classes needed for your degree. Taking 12 credits is considered full-time for financial aid and scholarship purposes. However, if you plan to graduate within 4 years, be sure to let your advisor know because you might want to take 15 credits each semester. Some terminology you might hear are the words co-requisite and prerequisite. A co-requisite is a course that you take at the same time as another course. For example, chemistry lecture must be taken at the same time as the chemistry lab. A prerequisite is a course that is taken before another course. For example, English 101 must be taken before English 102. This is our general education worksheet, which gives you a breakdown of the distribution areas needed for a bachelor's degree at UNLV. There should be a copy of this form in your web campus, which you can use as a reference and also during your one-on-one advising appointment. The classes on the left-hand side are required for all UNLV students regardless of your major. The classes on the right-hand side vary depending on your major of interest. Please schedule an appointment with an advisor to ensure that any classes that you are wanting to swap will be applicable toward your degree. Now let's go more into detail about English and math requirements. UNLV offers free and online placement exams for English and math. This is an example of what your English classes might look like. Depending on your English placement score, you may be enrolled into a 5-credit English course, which is actually 3 separate classes. Or you might be enrolled into English 101, which is a 3-credit course. Please talk to an advisor if you have other questions about placing into a higher English course. Here are some examples of what your math courses might look like. If this looks a bit complicated, please don't worry. We will review it during our appointment, and I guarantee it will make more sense. This is just to show you that depending on your placement scores and your intended major, there are a few options for math classes. Math requirements are heavily influenced by the type of major you are interested in pursuing. On the right-hand side, you'll see major examples that will indicate which math you would likely enroll into. If you're unhappy with your placement scores, you can retest, but you'll want to do that as soon as possible to get the scores input and your class schedule changed. You will need an advisor's help to make those changes to your schedule. This is an example of what your fall schedule might look like. You will likely be enrolled into an English and/or a math class. You might also be enrolled into a first-year seminar class, a Constitution class, and a class from one of the distribution areas. You may or may not be enrolled into a fifth class, depending on how many credits you're already in. If you have any AP, IB, or dual enrollment courses, please make sure to let your advisor know so that we can verify if they're showing on My UNLV. How often should you meet with your advisor? At least once before the semester. You can call to schedule an appointment with an academic advisor. You can always contact your advisor by email using your Rebel Mail, phone, or to set up an appointment. We can schedule virtual appointments or in-person appointments. How your advisor will contact you? We'll contact you by using your Rebel Mail or phone. Please make it a point to read all emails that have ASC advising in the subject line. The Academic Success Center has a lot of helpful services and resources for you that you can use throughout your degree. We offer coaching, which helps with time management, study skills, and test anxiety, among other things. We offer tutoring and supplemental instruction. And we also offer scholarship opportunities just for exploring and pathway students. Thank you for attending the new student orientation with the Academic Success Center. Please find and like us on social media where we post information about important dates, events, success stories, advisor information, and more. We look forward to having an opportunity to have a full appointment with you.